Parkside Cabin Rentals, affordable rustic luxury in the Smokies. Chalets and log cabins, from intimate to grand. In town or in total seclusion, we can fit any need you have. Visit ParksideCabinRentals.com. Plan your vacation today.
Southeast Termite and Pest Control can help protect your home from animals, trapping and relocating wildlife, fixing the damage they cause, and preventing them from invading your home in the first place. Call Southeast Termite and Pest Control and ask about our many services.
The following is a presentation of Fox 43 Sports.
Let's talk Tennessee football. This is the Sports Source Kickoff, presented by Parkside Cabin Rentals. Now, your host, John Pennington.
Good Saturday morning, good game day morning, third Saturday in October for Tennessee fans. That one means a whole lot, especially those of us of a certain age, in other words, old. The last few years, it hasn't been as thrilling as it was in days gone by, but Alabama's coming in off of 8 straight games. Might that help Tennessee? They could be worn down a little bit. Tennessee coming in off a win. We'll discuss all that with our panel. Let's get right into the show. It's brought to you, of course, by Parkside Cabin Rentals and their sister property, Cherokee Lodge. The nicest overnight condo rentals in the Smokies, folks. 2- and 3-bedroom units available. Each unit has a living room, a fireplace, a mountain view balcony, plus a fully equipped kitchen, washer and dryer. Look, that beats a hotel stay any way you slice it. Right in the heart of Pigeon Forge, too. The Cherokee Lodge. Check out CherokeeLodgeCondos.com to learn more about that property owned by Parkside Cabin Rentals, who presents this show, the Sports Source Kickoff, all year long. We appreciate them. Go check them out. Want to welcome in our the first wave of panelists today. Josh Ward, Jimmy Himes, both from WNML, the Sports Animal, and right down there, VFL LaMarcus Thompson. Good to have you back with us this year. Thanks for joining us. Good to be back. All right. As I mentioned, the Vols coming off an upset victory at Auburn, 30-24. It changed a lot of moods around Knoxville, I think. People went from saying, oh, gosh, they're not going to win another game, to, they're a buzzsaw now. Alabama better watch out. It's a trap game. Alabama comes in, number 1 team in the country, and really the number 1 program in the country for the last decade, if you any way you slice it. When you think about Alabama, though, you do have some question marks. As I said, 8 straight games. This will be their 8th straight game. Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback, sprained a knee a little bit against Missouri last week. Now, he's practiced this week. They've said he's A-OK. Who knows if he's 100% or not. But you have that out there. They're a little banged up in their secondary as well. Could that, in your opinion, I'm not talking about victory here, but could that help Tennessee keep this thing close? If you think back to 2015, Alabama was playing their 8th straight game, and that's when Tennessee went down there to Tuscaloosa, led them in the 4th quarter before falling 19-14. And I'm grasping for straws here. Is this something that can impact this game and help Tennessee?
I would say yes. If you said, Josh, hey, come up with some ways this comes together for Tennessee to make it more competitive, that's on the list. That they've had this 2-month stretch of games. You've got questions around Tua's status, not necessarily if he's going to play today, but how effective can he be? How mobile can he be? Are they trying to protect him so they're limited in what they call offensively? And are they looking ahead? Do they just want to get to the bye week, the off week, and get ready for LSU in 2 weeks? If that can be the player's mindset, Tennessee's going to be motivated, so we don't question that.
The thing is, it could work to Tennessee's favor. On the flip side of that, I think what might have worked better in Tennessee's favor if Alabama beat Missouri 65-3. Because I think not playing that sharply against Missouri, it probably led Nick Saban to get their attention a little bit better. But, yeah, if you're playing 8 straight weeks and another team should be fresher, 1 week removed from a bye week, that could work into Tennessee's favor.
LaMarcus, when you were a linebacker for the Vols, did you ever face one of those stretches where it was 7-8 games in a row, and did that have an impact on weary legs or anything?
Oh, it definitely has an impact. I mean, if you go into the game and you're playing week after week after week, you're definitely going to be tired. You're going to be looking ahead to, man, when's the bye week coming? When are we going to have a break? You know, when is, you know, the next step, rest, I guess you could say, the rest place coming. So I think Tennessee is going to have to come in and be focused and be ready to play themselves, you know, because Alabama might be give them an edge. You know, if they give them an edge, they might can take that edge, but they have to take advantage of that opportunity. That's the only thing they have to do.
Let me ask you this one, and let's first look at it from the Jeremy Pruitt angle. He's been at Alabama. He's worked with that defense specifically. He's worked against that offense. He knows what guy likes to be, you know, he knows what guy can cover this route and what guy can't. He knows what they could and couldn't do in practice. He knew the holes that he had to cover up, and there aren't many at Alabama, but he knew what he needed to mask for his guys. Now he's on the other side and might be able to take advantage of some of that. How big of an impact could that be? Is that worth a field goal, a touchdown, anything?
I think it could help some. I think that a coach that knows the personnel inside and out, I think it can benefit them a little bit. How much, it's hard to say. And could it benefit for 60 minutes? Probably not. It could benefit for a few plays here or there. But I do think there have been coaches that have left programs and then coached against those players. I think it's better to know the personnel of those players. And I think that's where the advantage is. So I would, in fact, I think for Dan Mullen, that was an advantage for him, having been at Mississippi State, going to Florida, and then coaching against Mississippi State's players. I think it works that way. So I think that could help Pruitt and Tennessee a little bit.
That helps from a player standpoint when the coaches know exactly what's going on, and you can tell that guy, hey, this guy's going to do this at this time. Look at this key, look at this step. That helps a player a lot, especially builds confidence in what he's doing. So he's going to react to that situation, and that's why I think that's going to be a definitely good advantage for Tennessee.
I watched it with a pro team. The Patriots went to play the Detroit Lions this year, and Matt Patricia, who'd been the defensive coordinator, they beat the Patriots. It was a big upset. After the game, a lot of the Patriots players said, yeah, he attacked all of the things that we couldn't cover in practice when he was here. All of the things we didn't like is what he ran at us, to the point of this guy's terrible against wham blocks. So they wham blocked him all night long. So you wonder if it can help Tennessee a little bit in terms of their game plan, even play design to an extent. If this guy doesn't like this, or this guy can't move as well to his left or his right, let's move him that direction rather than the other.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean it's going to equate to 21 points for Tennessee, but could it be on a 3rd and 7 play, you say, okay, this corner struggles with this route to cover it, let's run this at him and see if it works. And then could there be a right guard that struggles when you try this kind of stunt and you're trying to figure out something defensively that you can throw in a particular situation? They've gone over it in practice. I promise it was passed along, because it's not just Jeremy Pruitt. Brian Niedermeyer and Chris Winkie, who are assistants, they were there as well, so they know about the personnel, and that personnel still has some athletic advantages, and that's something that Alabama's going to take advantage of.
A little bit. All right, let's flip it. Butch Jones is also on the Alabama staff. He's they use the word intern, but he's basically doing that offensive assistant thing, the advisor, extra eye in the press box type thing. Analyst. That's the word, thank you. That Nick Saban runs as a coaching rehab program. A ton of coaches have gone through it. He certainly recruited this Tennessee team. And I know that the joke is he wouldn't know a football if he sat on it. He did have a winning record at every school he coached at. So might he be able to offset some of the Jeremy Pruitt knowledge by knowing anything at all about Tennessee's players?
He should.
Should. That's an interesting choice of words. Okay. Should. All right, well, let me ask you this. We had our laugh. What about Nick Saban? He knows Jeremy Pruitt's style. He knows what Jeremy Pruitt. Do you think he can cancel that out a little bit?
I think he can cancel that out a little bit. I still think there's the advantage to knowing what the players can do as opposed to thinking what the coach could do. So I do think there's a bit of an advantage with Tennessee that. But yeah, I think Saban will know the tendencies of Pruitt. Pruitt might try to break some of those tendencies, knowing that Saban knows his tendencies. That might be a part of the chess match that we see on Saturday.
Is there anything else? I tried to throw out here in this opening segment some factors that might not have been considered that could aid Tennessee if all things were to break their way. Are there any other factors out there that you're thinking of?
Confidence. Tennessee comes into a hostile environment. They beat a top 25 team on their turf, so Tennessee's going to fly high with a lot of confidence this weekend. So they found they got the the lights come on, saying, "Hey, we can play with big time talent." So it's going to be interesting to see what they do and how they react going into a different team as far as Alabama. So we'll see what happens.
And you went through a number of coaches during your stay at Tennessee. You were there in the, let's see, Fulmer to Kiffin to Dooley?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't get Jones at all, did you?
I didn't get Jones at all.
Okay.
I had Dooley's first year.
Okay. At any point, I guess you thought you had a win. You thought you had a breakthrough moment at LSU. In terms of Kiffin, I guess the win over Georgia would be comparable. Was that kind of the breakthrough when, oh, well, now we've got something, I see what these guys are building toward? How did that help that team moving forward?
Like I said, it was the aha moment. It was that turnaround game and said, hey, we can play with top talent. We can go in. We can beat somebody. And as you can see, when we played Alabama later on that year, Terrence Cody field goal block, we lost them by only that one or 2 points there. Yeah. So it's definitely a confidence booster. So I think they're going to go in and they're going to give Alabama a lot more fight than a lot of people's thinking.
I think that's also key. We wondered a couple of weeks ago, if you get on a long losing streak here, which is what it looked like it was going to be, at what point do some of these seniors that don't have anything else to play for, at what point do they check out? At what point do some of these other guys do they start showing a little bit of quit? I do think the win at Auburn should give them a little bit more fight, as you say. The trick is, how long can they carry that fight? Can they carry it for 60 minutes to Alabama? We'll discuss that next when Tyler Wyatt joins us. He's got our weekly over-unders as we take a gambling look at this and talk some matchups. Tennessee versus Alabama, some keys to the game. Come on back on the Sports Source Kickoff, presented by Parkside Cabin Rentals.
Did you know English Mountain Spring Water has been named the world's best tasting water? That a French competition declared it a gourmet water? Did you know English Mountain Spring Water is bottled in Dandridge? And it's available for commercial and residential water service across East Tennessee. Clear, pure water with no aftertaste. From an East Tennessee source and a local company providing unmatched service. English Mountain Spring Water.
The Lodge at Five Oaks, conveniently located within walking distance to some of the area's best attractions, restaurants, and shops. Call now for special rates throughout the week or visit thelodgeat5oaks.com to plan your next getaway today.
Since 1971, Southeast Termite and Pest Control has offered free inspections, multiple pest control options, and guaranteed termite prevention and correction. Times have changed. Our service hasn't. Southeast Termite and Pest Control.
Under Tennessee law, you're entitled to money damages for injuries caused by the negligence of others. How much money often depends on the diligence, skill, and experience of your attorney. A Knoxville law firm has been helping injured people for more than 30 years.
At Bill Hodson Associates, we've collected millions of dollars from insurance companies that didn't want to treat injured people fairly. Is your case worth more than the insurance company says? Call Bill Hodson Associates and find out.
When it comes to your business, no one provides better security and life safety systems than Safety Systems. Protect your employees, your products, and your records with a single phone call. Professional technicians ready to design, install, and monitor your cutting-edge fire and security systems. Electric locks and surveillance cameras. Emergency and after-hours response and repairs. Trust Safety Systems, East Tennessee's leader in security and life safety systems.
Just 60 miles from Knoxville, adventure meets sanctuary at the historic Topoco Lodge. Originally opened in 1930, this renovated, reborn mountain retreat offers cozy, well-appointed rooms, cabins, and suites, waterfront dining, our warm signature service, and plenty of outdoor sports and activities, all within our riverside, creekside, and forest setting. Experience the historic Topoco Lodge, where adventure meets sanctuary.
Parkside Cabin Rentals, affordable rustic luxury in the Smokies. Hot tubs, pool tables, fireplaces inside and out. Our cabins are perfect for relaxing or entertaining. Visit ParksideCabinRentals.com. Plan your vacation today.
Welcome back to the Sports Source Kickoff. This segment brought to you by English Mountain Spring Water. This spring comes from an aquifer 2,500 feet below the surface of the earth. Up bubbles 2.5 million gallons. Now, this isn't 2.5 million gallons for those of you at home, but up bubbles 2.5 million gallons of pristine, delicious water every single day. And the water you can get delivered to your home or office is bottled just 900 feet from the spring. It is that close. I have been there, I've seen it for myself, and I've tasted it, and so the guys on the desk, and it is fantastic. Check out their website today and look into getting that ordered for your home or business. English Mountain Spring Water, best I've ever had. All right, want to welcome in the next member of our panel. Over at the 3forthemoney.win board, the over-under board, we have Tyler Wyatt, professional handicapper here in Knoxville. People from all over the country pay him for his weekly picks in not only college football, but you do everything. You tear it up in baseball, football.
World Series about to start. Big week for us. Absolutely. NBA, NFL, we cover all the sports.
Good deal. 3forthemoney.win is where you need to go to get Tyler's picks. I have asked him, as I do each week, to come up with 3 over-unders that kind of cover key aspects of the game. And what have you got, number 1? I see it's 50.5.
50.5 completion percentage for the Vols. Alabama defensively has been one of the best teams in the country. They give quarterbacks fits. Jarrett last week came out. That was a brilliant showing. But it's an Alabama defense that's one of the best in the country. We expect that from Nick Saban. They give up just under 50.5%. We picked 50.5% because that's basically about their average.
Yeah, I think it's 50.4 is their average. So, all right, 50.5 for Jarrett Garantano.
I'll go over. As accurate as he's been, and the wide receivers I think have done a good job. Juwan Jennings, he can go up and make contested catches. I'll say that Tennessee goes over, or that Garantano goes over, as well as I think they'll do a good job of getting Ty Chandler involved, some quick, easy passes. Let's see if they do that on early downs. I think that's very important for Tennessee. So easier throws for a higher percentage.
I'll go over as well, but I don't feel great about it. No knock on Garantano, just you got your passing game to come to life last week. You know, when you were having to get rid of it quickly to mask the O-line a little bit. But the problem is Alabama is number 1 in the SEC in sacks and number 1 in the SEC in interceptions. So you just get this passing game going, and now you're up against basically the worst defense you could face. I'll still take him to go over on the 50.5, but I don't feel great about that.
I'll take him to go over also. He's had one game this year where he went below, and that was against Florida, and he didn't play well in that game at all. Last year against Alabama, and I know it was a blowout, but he was 9 out of 16. He went over in that game. He has more of a tendency to take the sack than throw the ball away. And in part because of that, I'm going to say he's going to be more cautious in that regard. I'm going to take the over.
Well, Marcus?
I'm going to take over as well, so because last week he did build some confidence, and also if you look, he's going to get the quick swing routes, like I said, quick comeback routes, things of that nature, to get the ball out of his hand, 2-3 step drops, just to give him confidence in the game, to get him going, so you can get the deep ball or the 50-50 ball or the back shoulder ball that he did well versus Auburn with there. So, we'll see what happens, especially against, like I said, one of the top defenses in the country.
All right. Tyler Wyatt, which way should we have gone?
We're going up. Alabama's secondary, maybe the weakest. I don't want to say weak in Alabama. There aren't many things that are weak, but maybe you can exploit them over the top. I do think Josh was correct. A couple of maybe dink and dunk passes early, get Ty Chandler involved, let Jarrett complete some passes and get into a rhythm. But I do expect that to go over.
Okay, and let's start getting a little quicker here. We're behind the 8 ball. Over under 2.5. What are we looking at?
2.5 here is giveaways for Tennessee turnovers. Tennessee done a really solid job most of this season in not giving the football to the other team. Alabama really good at taking the football from other teams. It's been a strength of Nick Saban his entire career. 2.5, it happens to be right between what Tennessee is giving up per game and what Alabama is taking away. 2.5 turnovers or giveaways for Tennessee.
I will go under. I think it'll be 2 or under. I don't think they'll go to 3 turnovers for Tennessee.
I'm going to go under also. The concern is whether or not Alabama breaks through that offensive line a few times and puts pressure and forces turnovers, but I'll go under as well.
I'm definitely going to go under also. I think that's going to be an emphasis in practice, turnovers and takeaways, things of that nature, and also that ball security is going to be big in practice as well, because they know that Alabama, Pruitt knows that personnel. He knows they teach rip and strip, so basically they're going to keep it high and tight all week.
Yeah.
I'll fade the public. I'll go over.
Okay, we got it over. I'll add this. You showed last week, and we talked about it on the show last Sunday, that the 50-50 balls, that's not exactly accurate. If you throw it, or if you practice it and throw it right, and the receiver makes the play right, it's a much higher percentage than 50-50. However, Alabama knows now that that is your attack plan, and one Alabama defensive back after another has been on a treadmill, a pipeline into the NFL. So if there is talent to go up and match your receivers, it's more than likely going to be at Alabama. It just depends on how banged up they are. Tyler, which way would you go?
I'm going, we're going to let Josh fade the public solo. I'm going under here. I don't think Jarrett throws an interception, and I don't think that Alabama forces 3 fumbles. I think Jarrett does a great job with the football.
All right, what's the last one? 41.5.
This one hurts to say. Total points for Alabama. It's a team offensively in the first half this season has absolutely destroyed it. They've covered each and every first half line, and every game has almost gone over for the Tide 6 of 7. 41.5 points by the Crimson Tide. Can Tennessee slow this team down? I'm not sure, but we set the total at 41.5.
Need to be quick on this one. I will let LaMarcus start this one.
I'm going to go under, just because Jeremy Pruitt knows this offense. You know, he's gone against it year and year and year. Well, for a year, I guess you could say. And but he knows that personnel. If you look in the Auburn game, he pointed out different plays that was going to happen, and of course that player reacted to it and made the play happen. So I think that being a defensive coach, he's going to make it happen for Tennessee.
Okay, he goes under.
I'm right on the bubble, but I'm going to go over. They're going to tack one on for Butch Jones.
They said that's one of their motivations is to get him a cigar in this series, which the winner always gets. You going over or under for Alabama, 41.5?
That range sounds exactly right. I'm going to go slightly under.
All right, I'll go slightly over. So far, in 4 SEC games, the average score has been 53-18. They're averaging 53 points, and Tua hasn't played in the fourth quarter yet.
Yep.
So, Tyler, which way would you go?
I think you nailed it, over. Hopefully Tennessee can keep pace and keep it close, but I do think over is a proper play.
All right, very good. When we come back, Tyler's going to give you his prediction versus the actual line as it stands today, and we'll tell you Tennessee will win if. Yeah, we'll try and come up with something. Come on back on the Sports Source Kickoff.
Southeast Termite and Pest Control can help protect your home from animals, trapping and relocating wildlife, fixing the damage they cause, and preventing them from invading your home in the first place. Call Southeast Termite and Pest Control and ask about our many services.
The Lodge at Five Oaks, conveniently located within walking distance to some of the area's best attractions, restaurants, and shops. Call now for special rates throughout the week, or visit thelodge@fiveoaks.com to plan your next getaway today.
Just 60 miles from Knoxville, adventure meets sanctuary at the historic Topoco Lodge, featuring the Topoco Tavern with comfortable seating inside or riverside for lunch and dinner, expanded patio dining, private rooms for events, drinks on the observation deck, and at our multiple bars. Try the Carolina Mountain Trout, a Black Angus choice ribeye, or build your own hand-tossed pizza. Experience the Topoco Tavern at the historic Topoco Lodge.
When it comes to your home, no one provides better security and audio-video systems than Safety Systems. Control everything using your tablet or smartphone, whether it's a hidden TV or the temperature in your home. Lighting, doors that open and close, lock and unlock, cameras that allow you to watch your home from wherever you may be, all at the touch of a button. Trust Safety Systems, East Tennessee's leader in security and audio-video systems.
Under Tennessee law, you're entitled to money damages for injuries caused by the negligence of others. How much money often depends on the diligence, skill, and experience of your attorney. A Knoxville law firm has been helping injured people for more than 30 years.
At Bill Hutz and Associates, we've collected millions of dollars from insurance companies that didn't want to treat people fairly. Have you been hurt in a car wreck? Are you being treated fairly? Call us and find out.
Experience you can trust.
Did you know English Mountain Spring Water has been named the world's best tasting water? That a French competition declared it a gourmet water? Did you know English Mountain Spring Water is bottled in Dandridge? And it's available for commercial and residential water service across East Tennessee. Clear, pure water with no aftertaste. From an East Tennessee source and a local company providing unmatched service. English Mountain Spring Water.
Southeast Termite and Pest Control is locally owned, locally operated, handling thousands of commercial and residential jobs all across East Tennessee. Protect your home with a free inspection and estimate from Southeast Termite and Pest Control.
Welcome back into the Sports Source Kickoff, presented by Parkside Cabin Rentals. This segment brought to you by Bill Hotz and Associates. They can't unwreck a car for you, and they can't heal up injuries you suffer in a car wreck, but they can help you recover fair compensation for your injuries and losses. The law is designed to protect you against careless drivers. Bill Hotz and Associates, they're the attorneys to help you take advantage of the law, to use that to take care of yourself and protect yourself. Bill Hotz and Associates. Also want to remind you that tomorrow, 11 a.m. on WATE6, we'll be breaking down today's game. We'll have the full cast of characters. Even Will Overstreet's going to be there after he and his wife had a child this week. So we've lured Will in, so it's going to be a full house tomorrow, 11 a.m. on WATE6 for the Sports Source. Okay, let's go back over to Tyler Wyatt, who is going to tell us the latest on the Tennessee-Alabama line and what he would do if he were betting it. I'm going to talk him into giving us a free pick. His people normally have to pay for this, but since it's last minute, give us a freebie.
We're going Alabama, unfortunately, number 28.5, 29 for the Tide. Total in the game, 57. Talked with Matt Holt, CG Technology. They took a $100,000 bet on Alabama at 28.5, bumped it to 29, immediately took a $50,000 bet on Tennessee to cover. So there are people out there that are backing the Vols. It's one of those you have to bet Alabama until they prove you wrong, and right now they're beating everybody. The question mark with Tua today, I do think he plays. If he plays 3 quarters, it's probably enough, unfortunately. It's an offense and defense right now that's playing as good as any team I've seen maybe in my life. Unfortunately, we're going to have to back Alabama minus the 28.5 if you shop. It's a better number, but I do think it's going to be a long, ugly day for Tennessee.
All right. Thanks, Ben. 28.5 is what we're saying. We've got a couple of minutes here. We've got a minute for each of us. Tennessee will win this game if, Josh, congratulations. I'll make you
get to start this one out, huh? Remember when marathon runner Jean Paul on Seinfeld?
Yes.
You had the separate knob issue and then Kramer's power.
Yes.
Kramer knocks the power out with the hot tub. If you have a hotel-wide issue, but it's a 3:30 game, I'm guessing the clocks
they'll still wake up on time?
Yeah, their internal clock. It's going to have all kinds of turnovers, a perfect storm against Alabama, unfortunately, which nobody should pull for an injury to Tua. Because, as Tyler's talking about, if he leaves after the 3rd quarter, it's probably because they're on their way to covering. If he's playing in the 4th quarter, they could score more points.
And as we were saying in the break, too, if Tua doesn't play for some reason or he gets knocked out, Jalen Hurts lit you up last year.
Yeah.
So, all right, Tennessee will win if. Let's combine it.
Well, whatever I say, go opposite if we're going to go Seinfeld. Do a lot of what you did against Auburn, and that is to have a 3-0 advantage in turnovers. That would certainly help.
Some genius said that last week.
And I think it was Mr. Pennington.
Plus 3-0.
Look, how about going 8 for 8 on 3rd and 8? That would certainly help. I think that's going to be very difficult to do as well. The other thing Tennessee's done a pretty good job of this year, much better than a year ago, contain the run game. They did that against Auburn after the first couple of drives. That would certainly help against Alabama.
Tennessee's going to have to play a 100% perfect game in all aspects of football. Trick plays, we're going to have to catch some of those onside kicks that were perfectly schemed. We just are not coming up with. They're just going to have to get the turnovers on their edge. They're just going to have to get the entire scheme and ball and everything, if the whole tumble rolling on their end to come out with some type of win.
It would be a monster upset if they could pull it off. I think not only will it take the turnovers, that's obvious, but I would also say, and that was kind of dismissive, wasn't it? That's obvious.
Of yourself.
I would also say, though, you've got to have you've got to out big play Alabama. I don't think Tennessee's offense is going to grind it down the field. They couldn't against Auburn. They had to go with the chunk plays down the sidelines. I think they had to have Ty Chandler get loose down the middle, had to have a huge bust. They're going to need that. If you look at this game afterwards and Tennessee doesn't have as many big plays as Alabama, I think you're going to get crushed. So my guess is you better hit on a lot of those 50-50 balls. You better have some broken tackles that lead to 50-yard gains. So big plays, turnovers, and hope.
Yeah, the offensive line today has to have its best game as a unit it will ever have. Probably.
Yeah, and where we talk about injuries, you also have to hope that Tennessee – you're now getting to the point with Kongbo out.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're starting to see that second level of players in there. You've had some issues at the safety position. You can't have anybody go out in this game if you're going to pull an upset. Is this the best everybody's talking about this. The 83 Nebraska team stands out to me. That team lost, but to the #1 team in the country, Miami. They wound up #1. Is this the best team you've ever seen? Just yay or nay, it's all you have time for, really.
To this point, yes.
Most explosive.
Definitely.
That's saying something. We'll see if Tennessee can pull off the upset today over at Neyland Stadium. Whether they do or don't, we'll be breaking it down for you tomorrow on WATE6 at 11 a.m. for the Sports Source. Thanks from all our sponsors. We'll see you next Saturday right back here on Fox 43.
This has been a presentation of Fox 43 Sports.